So today we're talking about the Sony ZVE10 and 5 great accessories for this camera that really make it shine. We've already made this video before, I made it last year, but I've got 5 more great accessories that I think are fantastic for this camera at a big range of prices, and we're going to be giving a few of them away today, so make sure you stick around to hear more about that. So this little camera is fantastic, but it does require some things to get it going. One of the biggest downsides to this camera is the battery life. So that's where we're going to start today. These little NPF W50 batteries are very small, so you do need to buy replacements. And a couple of months ago, Power Extra sent me over a couple of batteries for me to test out, and these have a really great system in them that make them pretty perfect for the Sony ZVE10. And that is that they actually charge over USB-C. They have this tiny little USB-C port right on the front of the battery that allows you to charge the battery just with a simple USB-C cable. Now, obviously you can plug this into a regular charging block, but the amount of times that I've traveled with the camera and I forget the charger, I can't count. But I always have USB-C cables lying around, so this just gives you a really nice security that, you know what, if disaster falls and you've forgotten your battery charger, you have the ability to charge your camera batteries, even if you forget to bring your charger along. So that's just fantastic. I think these are great. I've been using them for a couple of months now and they've lasted great. The battery life is very similar to the Sony one, and they've been doing really well. So Power Extra make tons of batteries. I've got loads of their NPF batteries and I've always liked them. So I've got pretty good trust in this company. So, you know, I'm more than happy to recommend these. They also make them for the FZ100 batteries. So, you know, if you have one of their larger cameras like the A6700, which is filming me right now, or an FX30, you can still pick up these batteries for those cameras. I just think these are great. It really just gives me a little bit more peace of mind when I'm traveling, that if I happen to forget something, or if I end up in a place where I don't have access to a block, a simple power bank will be able to charge my batteries just fine. Now the second thing is actually already attached to this camera, and it is this little piece right here, this little stringy thing that's attached to the side of this camera. One of my favorite things about the Sony ZVE10 are these little strap handles. Most other Sony cameras have those stupid little flappy things. For some reason, the ZV series get these nice sort of built-in aluminum ones that I think are fantastic. Now this little piece here is actually for a wrist strap, and it's by Falcam. Now Falcam sent over a cage system for the Sony A6700, and they also sent over some of these. These are just little wrist straps, and they kind of remind me of the Peak Design quick release system, but they're so much smaller and easier to use. So basically this little piece on the end here, that little black piece on the end is basically a magnet, and it slots into this super easily, and it's locked in place there. And I've tried to get this to fall off, and it really doesn't come off easily. Now, it seems like it should come out easily, but the magnet is strong enough that it kind of holds it in there. Obviously, then all you have to do is just pull the little magnet out from the slot, and that just comes right off. And the nice thing about this kit is it comes with 2 of these little pieces, so you could stick one on either side. So if you wanted to have, to be able to swap the strap around from one side to the other, you could do that, or you can just add one to each of your cameras. So for example, here I have my FX30, and currently my wrist strap is on my ZVE10, but all I have to do is pull that off, and now it's on my FX30. It's literally as quick and easy as that. I love magnets. Magnets just make everything so much easier. It literally just picks it up right there. You don't even need to put a whole lot of work into it. So, this system is really nice. If I'm swapping cameras around and I want to just have this wrist strap, this just works great. Gives me a little bit more comfort that nothing's going to break or fall off. So thankfully, magnets and gravity are working together pretty well here to make sure that this holds well. I haven't had any problems with it yet. And the other nice thing is it looks good. I think there's like whenever you get a strap or something for a camera, you're going to want the actual strap to look nice. It's got this nice sort of gray strap part with a sort of faux leather, it might be real leather, I'd be surprised, little piece around it. And overall, it just works really well. So for me, this is just great, right? I don't really like having full neck straps on a camera. They really bother me and just sort of get in the way. But this is just a nice little sort of happy medium where if I want to carry the camera if I'm going for a hike, this is a lot easier than having it around my neck. And if I drop it, it's all good. It's going to stay on there just fine. So, and also just with the quick release system, it's very similar to the Peak Design system. They're not the first people to do this, but this one is just very easy to use, and I like it. So if you already have the Peak Design one, I don't think you need to get this one. Just go ahead and use what you have. But if you're looking in the market for a nice little wrist strap, this is a great option. Now, a camera is all about capturing a good image, and a decent part of that process is the camera itself. It needs to have a decent sensor, it needs to have good color science, it needs to have decent specs, which this camera has. The most important thing, in my opinion, is actually what you put in front of the sensor, and that's your lens. If you're going to buy this camera, or if you're thinking about purchasing this camera, I would highly recommend to not buy the kit lens. The kit lens is fine, it'll get you by, but it's not going to bring out all of the proper capabilities of this camera. The best thing you can do is to add better glass. And when I say better glass, I don't even mean necessarily more expensive glass. For example, this is a little 35mm f1.6 lens that cost me $25 on Amazon, and it's not sharp. It's not a very good lens, but it's fun. It looks really nice. It has this really cool filmic look to it, and I really liked it. So for $25, you can get a much more interesting image from your camera than you would get with the kit lens. The kit lens is just pretty sterile, is probably how I would describe it. It's not very sharp, it's not very interesting, it's just kind of bland. And if you want to increase the quality of your image, you want to add better glass. Now, if you're looking for one lens that'll do everything, I think this is the one. The Tamron 17-70 f2.8 stabilized lens. This just does it all. Now, it's a big lens. I've got a full video about this, so I'm not going to go too in depth into it. But it's a fantastic lens, and it'll do a really good job on every Sony APS-C camera, from the ZVE10 all the way up to the FX30. This is a fantastic lens. Definitely my top recommendation if someone is looking to buy one lens that will just do everything for them. Now, recently on this channel, we hit 5,000 subscribers, which is crazy. I'm so grateful to all of you who have subscribed. And as a thank you, we're going to be giving away a few of the items that we're talking about today. So we're going to give away this little $25 lens. It's just a lot of fun. I had a really good time making a video out of it. And I think if you're brand new to photography and you just want a fun little lens to play around with, learn how to dial in your focus and your aperture, this is a great little way to go, cost effective, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to throw that in. We're going to be giving away one of these little fall cam wrist straps, which comes with two of those little connectors, so you can add it to either two cameras. And I absolutely love these things. I think they're great. So we're going to be including one of those. And lastly, we're going to include one of these battery packs from Power Extras. So either the W50 ones if you have the ZVE10, or the Z100 ones if you have a A6700 or an FX30 or one of their full frame cameras. We're going to be picking one winner to give away all of these things to within the next couple of weeks. And if you want to enter to win, all you have to do is just be subscribed to the channel, comment down below, and then head over to my Instagram page and like and comment on the photo of these products that we're talking about. Now, shipping is going to be limited to North America, just because it's the first time we've done a giveaway, and just to save any hassle, we're going to restrict this to North America for now. Now, I know this isn't a huge amount of stuff to be giving away, but I'm just grateful to be able to give away anything at this point. This has really been a great journey on YouTube, and once I hit 10,000 subscribers, which I'm aiming for by the end of the year, we're going to be giving away a Sony ZVE10 or a ZVE10 Mark II or whatever the new version of this camera may be if it's out by then. Hit the subscribe button and head over to Instagram, follow me over there so that I can make sure that whoever is going to win gets the stuff. I'm going to be contacting you through Instagram. Don't accept any other emails from anywhere else like Telegram or any of those things. Just for the giveaway, it's just going to be a direct message through Instagram. But let's get back to a few more of these items that we're talking about today. Now, these last two items are more expensive. Okay, so we're talking about higher end equipment that I think really can aid to your video, but are a little bit more optional. The first one is audio, right? Now, audio is not optional, okay? You do need to invest in better audio, but I really think that if you're going to be investing in any audio system, the Rode VideoMic NTG is just fantastic. I've been using this all the time. I use it in all of my shorts that I do, and I use it for any vlog that I've done. I absolutely love this thing. The quality that comes out of it is great. I think new it's around $200 to $250, but you can pick these up used for a bargain. I think I got this one for $115. And it's absolutely fantastic. It comes with everything that you need. It powers itself on automatically when you connect it to the camera. It's got a dial for all of its gain control, and it's got a whole bunch of options on it. No good video is complete without good audio, and people will click off your video very quickly if you don't have good audio. So I definitely recommend you have to invest in a decent audio system. This is my personal favorite microphone, but you can get great microphones for a whole lot less money. So the Rode Video Micro, Deity have some great ones. I would just highly recommend going with a microphone. Again, this one is quite expensive, but it's one that I have. So do some research, look into what kind of microphone you think would work best for you within your price point. But you could spend all the money in the world on a nice camera, but if you don't get good audio, I really just don't think it's worth it. So I'd highly encourage you, if you have any camera, you gotta invest in audio. It's gonna be one of the best things to really increase the production of your videos. Now, lastly, we're gonna be talking about a product that is really going to lead into my next video on the channel, and that is actually a gimbal. So gimbals are one of those interesting things. I'm working on a video here in the next couple of days talking about whether gimbals are actually overrated or not. Do you need one? Now, obviously I'm including it in this list because I think for people who do decide that they need a gimbal, this is my top recommendation. This is the Weebill 3S, and it is a fantastic little gimbal, and you can get this on Amazon brand new for under $300. Obviously, there's a lot of gimbals out there. There's the Ronin, RS3 Pro, I think it's called. It's like $1,100. If you're buying a $600 camera, you're going to be looking at that and probably laughing. But for me, if you're going to look at getting any gimbal that's going to work really well with this camera, the Weebill series of gimbals by Zhiyun is just fantastic. The first gimbal I ever got was the first Weebill, and I loved it. So if you're thinking you need a gimbal that's going to be, you're thinking, oh, if I have to get a gimbal, I'm going to have to get something that's like $1,000. I'd highly recommend not doing that, because you could just rent it for a whole lot less, and that's definitely my top recommendation. That's what I do anytime I'm flying any larger cinema cameras for commercial work. I just rent an expensive gimbal for like $30 for a weekend. But this is a perfect medium point. If you're going to probably stick with smaller cameras, this is a great setup. Now, you might still think this is a little bit too big, but if you're going to increase the camera, so let's say you're going to, move up to an FX30 with a Tamron 17-70, this gimbal supports this no problem. I've used this for a couple of music videos recently, and it flew it absolutely no problem, and it's been great. Comes with a bunch of accessories, and you get this really nice little handle piece, which can put it in underslung mode and a wrist rest. And if you buy the combo pack, you get a bag and everything. But honestly, I'd recommend just getting the basic package. It's under $300. You get a great gimbal that can be powered over USB-C. It's got a bunch of features that are good, but ultimately a gimbal just needs to balance a camera well, and this does it. But if you want to know more about this, make sure you hit the subscribe button, because I've got a video coming out about it in a couple of days, and we're just going to talk a little bit more about whether gimbals are actually worth investing in or not. Alright, so that's my list of 5 things that I think are fantastic for this little camera, this little beginner camera that I think is just a great little place to start for photographers and videographers. But that's all I have time for today. I got to head out on a little mini vacation, so I hope that you have a wonderful day.